Hello, it's Avion here, and in today's video we're going to show you how to slightly defocus the background, making Shelby stand out on the picture. It's going to give you almost the same sort of effect as if you'd shot this picture with a wide aperture lens, something like an f2 or a 1.8, and focused on Shelby. So to do this in Photoshop, what we need to do first of all is to separate Shelby from the background. So in other words, we need to go round the outside of it and cut her out. So we're going to go to the quick selection tool, and you can see now I've got a little brush which has got a minus in it. If you go to there, we have a plus inside it. So if you click on those, it varies between one and another. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go round the edges here. So we click onto the ribbon and the hair. Basically we're cutting out Shelby from the background, not with a pair of scissors but with this brush. And it's called a quick selection brush because if you look at it, it's pretty quick. The only thing is, as it's doing it, it also clings on various other things as well, and it misses bits out like you've got here. So what we need to do to start with is to take away some of these areas it's decided that it wants to cling onto as well as onto our model. So if we click onto the minus, we rub over there, it's taking that away. So let's go into there as well, just remove that. Same with that little bit. A bit in there. As you can see, sometimes it goes a little bit overboard with certain areas, but let's go in a little bit closer because we need to cover this area here a bit more. It's a bit more detail to cover with that. So if we press the control key and the plus, Shelby pops up much bigger in the frame so we can see what we're doing. What we need to do now is to make it more central. So if you press the space bar, it turns our cursor or our brush into a hand, and whilst I'm pressing the key down, I move my mouse across so Shelby's in the middle of the frame, so I can now see a lot more clearly what we're doing. So let's go around this side, pop that in there, go to the plus brush, and we'll go over, go to that, take this over to the end and go to the minus, so we'll go over here and try and fill that gap in there, and the same with this one. The more time you take filling these areas in, the better your picture will look. It will give you a much cleaner, better image. Whoops, I need the other one. It'll give you a much cleaner image and a much more natural looking picture as well. So what have we got there? We need the plus on that one. Drag it down and to join the hair up. If you click on certain areas rather than drag, it sometimes works better than actually pulling the area down. Don't forget that the computer doesn't really know what you want to include and what you want to not include into the picture, so you have to help it along a little bit. So let's make the bracket keys on your keyboard make the cursor larger with the right hand side, and the left hand key makes the cursor smaller so you can get into your little areas that you normally can't reach with a big one, and you'll be there for hours trying to sort out the little areas which you want to get up but it won't let you. Okay, so that's roughly what we need to do there with that one. As I say, if you're doing it yourself, you spend a little bit more time cutting out there, but that's quite sufficient for now, I think. So what we need to do now is to make the image pop back into the original orientation we had it on the frame, so in order to fill the whole screen. So if you press Control and 0, there we go, it's back to as we started, but now we have Shelby cut out with these little, what they call marching ants all around her. these little dotted lines. So what we need to do now is to select this area, which is the building behind her, because that's what we need to blur out. So what we're going to do now is to go up to select and inverse. Now by inversing what we've already done, we've changed from selecting Shelby to selecting this area. So this is the bit we're working on now rather than on Shelby. So what we're going to do now is go up to filters, to blur and Gaussian blur. This will make the background blurry, and we can adjust how much blur that we've got on the background. At the moment this is on 5. If we go back, it goes nice and sharp as it was originally. If we go up to the end, it's popped out altogether. It's gone really fuzzy and you can't see a thing. So what we need to do is to just take it across so it's just out of focus. So maybe about 5, thereabouts. So Shelby's just stood out a bit more from the background as it was before. So this little window here, it zooms in on certain areas of the picture. So if you look now, that's one of the signs that's outside the doorway, and it's 100%, so it's showing you by 100% how much blur you've got on that. And if you click on the picture and hold it, that little hand appears and it makes the picture sharp, so it gives you the before and after look. There's also a preview button here. Now if it's clicked, it lets you see what it looks like with the blur onto the picture. But if you unclick it, it goes back to what it was originally. So you just adjust that slider until you have as much or as little blur as you want. When you're happy with it, click OK. The window pane disappears and it stays as it is. Now at the moment you've still got these little marching ants all around the picture. To get rid of those, you go up to select, deselect, and that's it. So we have Shelby standing out from our picture with a nice slightly out of focus background, and that's how you can get the wide aperture look on your pictures. If you didn't take it like that, you could actually do that after you've done it. So it's quite an easy way of doing it there, but it takes a little bit of time cutting out, but it's well worth it in the end. So thank you for watching, and I hope that was helpful.